For as long as I can remember, I've always been so passionate about personal growth. I've always wanted to improve my journey, keep growing and maturing, and just overcome hurdles and obstacles. And it was a great passion of mine. But over the years, that passion to grow and change actually started working against me. Because I would look at areas of my life that weren't breaking through, and I would just get very, very frustrated. There were struggles that were rising to the surface that I didn't have 3 quick steps to break free. I couldn't find that instant solution. I found myself showing signs of deep struggles, anxiousness, panic attacks, obsessive thinking, obsessive compulsive thinking, depression, these emotions that I'm struggling with. And there were battles in my life that couldn't make sense. I couldn't just fix with just a change of a thought. The reality was these were deeper heart-related issues that I needed to address. I actually needed to slow down and let God do some deeper work, especially around the subject of His love for me. You see, what was happening was my focus on growth was focused on performance. It was focused on achievement. It wasn't focused on what it looks like to grow in the love that God has for me. You see, most of the things I was struggling with, and most of the things that most people struggle with, have to do with some kind of compromise of love in their life. There's empty places. There's aspects of their life that need more of God's love in their life. They need to see themselves through the lens of love and let it flow out in their life. You see, we carry so much brokenness, but we're often not aware of how that brokenness affects us. So we start telling ourselves, come on, get better, get over it. We give ourselves pep talks and we mean well, but we don't see the transformation. And then that desire for personal growth that I had started working against me because I was performance evaluating my journey. And I'd fall under guilt and condemnation and go, why am I not getting more and more free? And I'd plead to God and I'd fast and I'd pray more and I'd read my Bible more and read books and study more. What I didn't realize, and it took me some time to recognize, was what I needed was love. And love isn't a quick fix. Love cannot be experienced in a microwave. Love is not just something that will just turn a light switch on. To experience love, you got to slow down. To experience love, you got to take on a new rhythm. To experience love, you have to make more value for relationships. To experience love, you have to face yourself. You have to face the real issues of your heart. You have to face some of those emotions you easily stuff away. You have to let God do a deeper heart-healing work in your life. And so for me, one of the greatest things I had to learn was shift my attention from trying to fix all these issues I was struggling with to instead turn my attention to what it looked like for God to love me in my current state. And when you dug down into the root system of my heart, I realized that I felt I was unlovable. You could love me all day long, but it wouldn't do anything because I deemed myself unlovable unless I earned it through my performance. And even when I performed for it, it was never good enough. So I always felt separated from love. So I had to make a shift to allow love into my life in my current state, apart from my performing, apart from any achievement, apart from any success or lack of success or whatever that means. I needed to learn what it meant to be unconditionally loved as God's child, to be His son and to be loved by Him, not because of anything I did or anything I accomplished, but simply because He loved me. And this began to be a game changer in my life because I invited love into my heart and I intentionally received it. In the midst of my pain, in the midst of my struggle, in the midst of not overcoming, because I began to realize love is everything and love is the foundation for all that we do in our life and journey with God. And it wasn't an intelligence issue, performance issue. It wasn't I needed to get my religious habits going issue. It's a love issue. And most of your battles centered around you struggling to experience the love of God. So I had to stop in my posture and learn to receive that from my internal world. Now, there was a second phase of this, because as I launched out to teach and share transformational ministry, I ran into some really difficult seasons. Financial struggles, relationship struggles, went into dark seasons of the valley of. Those of you who can recognize this when you step out and you start something new and then you enter those lonely, dark, difficult seasons. I'm sharing transformational hope with people, but yet in my own life, I see our family struggling. I see myself struggling. I see just so many obstacles in our way, and it began to wear me out. And what God wanted me to know is what it meant to be loved in those kind of seasons as well. But I'd plead, but God, what about this? What about that? And I was focused on all these issues. I was focused on all these areas that hadn't broken through yet. And God stopped me in my thoughts. And I felt Him arrest my heart with saying, I want you to know what it means to be loved. Because when times get tough in your life, you get hard on yourself. And I want to teach you what it means to be unconditionally loved in any circumstance of life. You see, what I got stuck under during that time is something maybe you get stuck under too, is when things are difficult. Maybe there's a financial block, or there's a block in your ministry or career or relationally. We fall under two condemning thoughts. One is, I'm here because I did something wrong. And the waves of condemnation hit us and attack us. You come under that shame and that failure mentality. I'm here because I did something wrong. But then I looked in the Bible and I saw people experience great things in God, and they made terrible choices. It doesn't mean that they didn't have the consequences of those choices, but my destiny can't be pinned on me having to do everything right. It eliminates the power of what Jesus paid for. Now, my heart is to do what's right, but there was an ungodly burden placed on me that was pointing out every failure and every mistake. And the second question, or the second statement that I would come under is, I am here because there's something I am not doing that I need to be doing. And so I'd come under this religious guilt. I'd come under performance guilt. So all these things, that's why, because I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. And then I had to stop and let all that stuff die. The things I'm not doing or the things I should be doing. I just let it all go. And I said, God, I'm just going to let you love me in my current state. I'm going to love my neighbor as myself. I'm going to love my neighbor out of the love you're showing me. I'm going to simplify my life and journey. And I'm going to let go of all these areas where I feel like I got to keep it together, where I feel like I've got to earn my way through, where I feel like success is weighing on my shoulders. I just let all that go. And see, sometimes when you just learn to be loved, you let a lot of stuff die. When you just let God love you, you just drop a lot of stuff that is unnecessary for your journey. So I let go of some heavy baggage. And it was during that season that He has done, and He continues to do tremendous work in my life and what it means to lovingly accept myself right where I'm at. And allow that love to permeate my heart to then say, what is God's love saying to me right now? What's He speaking to in this current situation? And it's usually not the things we're all obsessed about. It's usually some simple, profound things that in His love, He's bringing about to your life. It changed me, changed my direction, and it took tons and tons of baggage and burden off my shoulders. And I pray through the resources and materials that God's shown my life, that it'll help bless your journey and set you free in areas where you feel separated from love. 2 resources I'm going to recommend. One is my book, God Loves Me and I Love Myself. And also my latest resource, which is the Heart Healing Journey. I'm going to unlock some things that have been so helpful for my life, and I pray they're helpful for your journey as well too. God bless you.